Welcome to the Limitless Podcast. The Limitless Podcast is centered around exactly that, being limitless. Hunting, fishing, fitness, nutrition, adventure, disabilities. What may be covered during the Limitless Podcast will be, well, limitless. Stay tuned for this episode of the Limitless Podcast.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. This chair is uncomfortable.
It's a child-sized chair. I can't believe you want to put my big butt in it.
I would prefer to be back on that log and click a tat after hunting turkeys all day.
Well, that was pretty bad.
This chair was not designed by somebody with a community college degree at all.
No, probably got a bachelor's degree in engineering or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because the way this thing is designed, I think it's probably a longer distance at an angle from here to there than it is across a straight line.
You know, I've heard that that's the same distance. Like if you went 100 feet up, that's the same distance. If you went straight up that 100 feet as if you went straight this way 100 feet.
No, I think the perception is it's a further distance if you're going up at an angle. 100 feet uphill is a lot further than 100 feet on flat ground.
Oh, well, I mean, there's the rise in elevation, but it's not a longer distance.
But I don't know.
100 feet is 100 feet.
A pound of feathers versus a pound of lead?
They're both a pound.
I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
To the community college.
To the community college.
And welcome to another Limitless Podcast. I am here with Nick the Great. Nick the Great has gone East Coast for this episode. We're here on Limitless Proper.
Oh yeah, Limitless Proper. I like that.
Yeah, we're on the property here in Eastern Shore, Maryland. Nick the Great and his wife came out for a visit, and we have been having an incredible time.
Oh my gosh.
So this episode is going to have a sprinkling of vacation chatter, probably
absolutely.
Making fun of bachelor degrees.
Oh, most definitely.
We're going to have a little bit of hunting speak in it, probably drink a beer, or
yeah,
maybe probably drink two.
Dos.
Yeah.
Dos Equis.
Well, but they're not Dos Equis.
No, they're not.
I would drink one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot enough right now that if the beer was cold enough, I would pretty much drink it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hot and humid.
So since we're going to talk about cold beer, this might be the first time ever on camera that I'm going to share my 3 favorite beers. Do you remember what my 3 favorite beers are, Nick?
Ronier.
Nope.
That's not one of your favorites?
Nope. It's not in the top 3.
Oh, wow. Pabst, I know is.
Nope. Pabst is not in the top 3.
All right, give me your top 3. I don't know.
My first favorite beer is free beer.
Well, okay. I got you.
So my second favorite beer is cold beer. My third favorite beer, free cold beer.
There you go. That would be my first.
Nope. No, because you're getting too picky.
Oh, okay.
That's the way my mind works. I mean, if somebody was like, hey, I don't have free cold beer, but I have free beer, I'm in.
Oh, that makes sense. But that would be lower on that would be like 3.
Well, you can have your own top 3 beers.
Yeah, but the ultimate would be the free cold beer.
I'm not that picky.
You don't have that. Then if you're not that picky, you would flip it.
No.
Because no.
You can have whatever favorite beer you want.
Third would be free. Second would be cold. First would be free cold beer.
No, my favorite beer is free beer.
I wonder what East Coast Nick would say.
I don't know. I wish we could speed dial him right now.
That'd be funny.
It would be great. It'd be great. So, Limitless Podcast. Let's talk about sponsors real quick. We'll take care of business.
Can you remember them?
Man, I doubt it. I doubt it. But this is what I do know. Sponsors for the Limitless podcast are for listener benefit. Again, they do not. I don't reap any benefits from you as a listener accessing these benefits with the discount codes. So, I have On Point Adventure Foods is one of our sponsors, right out of PA. They're awesome, freeze-dried food, love it. Have Phelps Game Calls.
Love Phelps.
Yep. Nice, great Washington call company. I love them. We have Vortex Optics. Great optics.
Love me some Vortex optics.
Absolutely. We have Wilderness Athlete supplements.
Haven't had any of those.
They're fantastic. We have, see, here we go again.
Hunting Day Coffee.
Hunting Day Coffee.
Which I have been introduced to, and I freaking love it.
We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yes.
So then we have the Love Sauce.
Which I have not tried yet.
The Love Sauce hot sauce. It's good.
I'll have to try it.
Who am I missing? It happens every time. Happens every time.
Bad?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Badlands is not one of my sponsors for this show.
You might have hit them all. How many do you have?
6.
That was 6.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Well, then we're done.
All right.
It's almost becoming a ritual now.
Of you forgetting them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Yep.
Maybe you ought to write it down and like post it in front of the camera.
So I do have it written down with all the discount codes because I can't remember them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yep.
sure you can't. That'd be a lot to remember.
Well,
each one would be
most of them
different.
are pretty easy, but the Vortex one is a little challenging.
Yeah.
It's cryptic.
Well,
But I do have all of them written down, but I guess I could just tape them to a tripod or something. That way I could just,
rattle them off.
yeah. Yep.
Community college.
Right? A teleprompter. I need a teleprompter.
Yes. Like the president's.
So let's talk about the coffee you've been drinking all week.
Oh my goodness. So I have always been, well, I'm a Black Rifle coffee fan.
Great coffee.
Great coffee. Veteran-owned, all that. I'm in their coffee club, and I've not had a coffee as good as that until I was here. And you let me try Hunting Day coffee. I love it. The espresso one was phenomenal.
The PRC.
Yes.
Yep.
The Spear Hunter
Yep.
was fantastic. They're all just quality.
And you had limb hanger.
Yeah, they're all quality. Love them.
It's good brew.
Yeah, I'm going to be switching.
Awesome.
Yes. No disrespect to Black Rifle Coffee. I love their coffee, but I really like what Hunting Day stands for as well.
Good company. Made in Virginia by a company, a family that is faith-based. Their whole
Important.
family's into hunting. Lover of coffee. Good people.
And I love it.
Awesome.
Yes.
So what else? What else have you been introduced to while you've been here?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Fruity Pebble milkshakes. Oh my goodness. He told me about these, sent me a picture, and I was like, what? Because hands down, favorite cereal growing up, Fruity Pebbles. He took me to the ice cream shop, and oh my, it was everything you said it was. So good.
We were supposed to go have those again today.
I know.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a little late in the day now.
It is, yeah.
But so let's see. We had that, the Tiki Boat Cruise.
Bottoms Up Tiki Cruise out of Chincoteague, Virginia.
You come here, you got to do that. It was such a blast. So much fun. Eric is a great captain, great guy. Bethany was the first mate.
Yes.
And she was awesome. Everybody, it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's a little 2-hour boat ride, and it's music, it's fun, you got to do
Good sightseeing.
it. Absolutely good sightseeing. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh. Um,
Had your first blue crab?
did have some blue crab. Yeah, we sat and cracked crab and partook in a limestone or two.
Ooh, the limestone.
Yes. You know what? You need to patent that before you give any.
So Nick enjoys gin. I like gin on occasion. And I wanted to have something that was light, refreshing, and maybe a slight change from your typical gin and tonic, which, I mean, I love a good gin and
Oh,
tonic.
yeah.
And Tara and I have a bottle of gin. It's called Clawfoot. It's out of, I think, pretty sure it's Cambridge, Maryland. It's out on the Eastern Shore, but I believe it's up at Cambridge. It is like a cobalt blue gin. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
And it's incredible gin. But I thought we were just gonna drink Clawfoot, gin and tonic Clawfoots the whole time you were here.
We haven't even hit that yet.
You haven't even tried it. So I like limeade. Nick really likes limeade. So I take 1 part gin, 2 parts limeade in a shaker, shake it on ice, pour it over the rocks,
Yes.
top it with premium
Fever Tree.
premium tonic and a fresh lime squeeze on it.
Dude.
So refreshing.
Unbelievable.
Just a real refreshing drink.
Amazing.
We have consumed a fair amount of tonic in the last few days.
Yes. I think we might need to try the Clawfoot tonight then.
And we have not drank to excess at all.
No.
Nope.
Couple a night.
Yep.
Yeah.
This mister is amazing.
Oh my gosh, dude. I love it. It feels so good.
I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm watching the mist. It'll pool up and then it'll form down on your earlobe.
Is it dripping off my
And then
ear?
it drips. And then I watch another one slowly form. And then it drops. So we
Oh my gosh.
it is
Hot.
wicked hot today. The humidity is redonkulous.
It's got to be what, 88% humidity, 90%
Easily.
humidity.
It's in the 90%.
Yeah.
It's so hot and humid today. It's the heat advisory out here. They've actually been shutting down planned city events because the heat is so high. It's absurd.
Yeah.
And the heat index, and they've out of quote unquote safety, they've been shutting down some of these activities. But I had some stuff that I wanted to do on the property today, and Nick has not experienced a few of those things. So we braved the heat today, and I took him out on the property, and we just returned. We had planned on doing this podcast buried out on the 25 acres.
Yeah.
But after being out there working for a couple of hours, we decided we would come back here behind the shop. We have this Ryobi mister fan. If you're not familiar with the Ryobi misting fan,
You should be.
you can see it on the video. Whoever's watching this on YouTube, you're looking at it. It's sitting on top of a 5-gallon bucket, and it throws out a substantial mist. So much mist that it's creating earrings on Nick.
Yes, right there. My beautiful earlobes. Actually, before we started the podcast, I was getting ready to buy one off of Amazon.
They're money. Anyhow, we've been out
Oh yeah, we haven't changed.
working in the woods, and we're getting ready to go in and have some homemade hot wings,
Yes.
some dill pickle salad.
There's not much of that left.
Not much, but we're still gonna eat it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have man dip,
It's done, huh?
and I don't know. And we're probably have corn on the cobs.
Yeah. We can do that too. We're gonna play some kings tonight.
Probably play some kings.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
So I took Nick out and introduced him to the anatomy of a whitetail scrape. Now, Nick grew up in Washington State. If you haven't listened to previous episodes, specifically the episode where Nick and I went turkey hunting together, and Nick grew up in Washington State together, and Nick has hunted blacktail and elk. He's not familiar with whitetail. I've had him out whitetail hunting one time.
One time.
And it was not an educational experience. It was,
more for just an experience.
yep. So today I took him out, and again I introduced him to the anatomy of a whitetail scrape, and we cleared a portion of the trail that I wanted for side by side going through the property. Wenched a few logs out, cut some logs, wenched a few logs out of the way, and we went out and started prepping a corner of the property it's been cleared. Over here behind us, there's 7 acres of cleared land, and I've got to go move some slash around, but we located the spot to put a ground blind.
We did.
Located 2 trees to put to saddle hunt out of them. One of them is going to have a permanent set of sticks going up the tree with a saddle on, or not a saddle, a platform on the back side of it. It's a brilliant spot for a permanent platform.
Oh.
And then we talked about the types of trees that the whitetails here
Yep.
like to scrape and use for licking branches. We talked about the difference between a licking branch and a scrape rope.
Yep.
We talked about what deer want out of a scrape,
That was interesting. Had no idea.
And then blew his mind by unzipping and peeing in the scrape.
It's not really surprising that Aaron would do that.
Works like a champ.
Hey,
So
I just sweat too much that I couldn't pee in it.
what all do you recall?
Well, interesting thing was the different types of trees. You said sometimes holly trees, they like those. Oak trees, and it can be in the different regions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so in one region they might like to have holly trees as scrapes or licking branch, and other areas they might not. It's just kind of what the deer want. As far as the scrape in the ground, what was cool was you showing me that they want to get it down to fresh soil, and there can't be any roots or anything like that. If they can't paw through it, they don't like it. They won't use it. And then as you were doing it, I could just...
Would they paw through it or hoof through it? Do deer have paws or hooves?
They have hooves, but when when you're doing this, that's pawing,
Is it
right?
pawn or pawing?
Pawing,
Not pawning.
not pawning. Pawning's completely different.
So is pining.
Yes. And poning. No, smelling that turned up fresh soil was, I do like that smell. But yeah, I can imagine what that is for a deer, with all that, with their senses. It was pretty cool. It was interesting to see. And with was it the forehead?
Forehead gland?
The forehead gland is on, you soak the rope in a synthetic forehead gland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like dripping into the scrape, which was cool. So yeah, it was interesting to see how you did that. The height, because it can't be real low, because it needs to be that was interesting. Locating a really nice spot for a ground blind, making sure you had an area where you could naturally have it broken up, but you have great shooting lanes, and you can brush up the front and maybe on the sides a little bit, however you want to do it. But yeah, it was awesome. I really thought it was very interesting, very educational. We don't hunt like that in Washington State.
Not really.
Not really, no.
Eastern side a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting over there, eastern side. You're getting out of the blacktails, and you're getting some muleys over there.
Mule deer and whitetail.
And yeah, blacktail, and over on the western side, you don't hunt them like that.
And you don't hunt that way for mule deer either.
But
Whitetail love it.
Yeah. So I've hunted a few, in Wyoming for muleys, but mostly blacktail, which honestly, I don't really enjoy blacktail deer that much. They don't taste as good as a whitetail. I will tell you, having had whitetail from the East Coast and comparing that to blacktail on the West Coast, there's no comparison. One's prime rib, the other's chuck steak. It's night and day. It was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. Yeah, using synthetic over a natural scent. In the state of Maryland, you can use at least as of now, you can use natural scent, but I don't like to. I prefer to use a synthetic because with a synthetic, I can use it pretty much nationwide. It doesn't spoil, so I can have it in my garage for several years.
Does natural spoil?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And if you don't keep it refrigerator and if you don't buy fresh, then it's not as effective, and it can actually be very counter effective. If it's spoiled, then deer won't come in because it's not going to smell good to them at all.
That makes sense.
So with the synthetic scent, again, I can use it pretty much any state that I want to. And from a backcountry perspective, if I choose to pack any scent in with me when I'm hunting whitetail, I don't have to worry about keeping it refrigerated and or keeping it from spoiling because, again, it's a synthetic scent. I prefer to use a company called Buck Fever, and I have found Buck Fever to be highly effective. And they offer forehead gland, and then they have what they call pre and post rut, and then they also have an actual rut scent that you can put in the ground. And so that's what we're using out there. And I keep it in a spray bottle, and then I have it in a drip bottle. So on the spray bottle, I like to keep my forehead gland in a spray bottle so I can spray it all over the leaves and the branches for my licking branches and or my scrape rope. And I can get underneath the leaves on a licking branch.
Okay.
But when I'm using my scent for in the scrape itself, if I'm using a spray bottle, it has to be an adjustable spray bottle so I can put it on a stream, because in my opinion, when you're simulating a deer, be it a buck or a doe that's going to urinate in that scrape, it doesn't come out as a mist.
It comes out
it comes out as a stream. Or if you watch your dog marking a branch or a hydrant or a tire, whatever your dog marks, it comes out in spurts and drops. And so I put my spray bottle on a stream so that I can get that direct pattern and effect. And or you can take a small bottle that's got like a squeeze bottle and get the drips and the streams out of it. And then of course, I absolutely love to pee in my scrapes. I have Terra, and different times of the month I'll have to go out and pee in my scrapes, or I'll, I'm still working on this aspect of it, but get her to pee in a container for me, keep her urine in the fridge for a couple of days until I have time to go out and dump her urine in a scrape. That's how I like to do it. I've tried misting scents into a scrape, have not had good success with it. Again, it's not natural for the deer. Deer are visual, and deer are, they like to use their olfactory senses. So that scrape has to meet those senses, or it's not going to be as effective. And what's more important, you might be able to draw in a young deer with a very basic scrape. But to get that real mature deer in there, you want to be checking off all of those important boxes for them. So I put deer hoof prints in my scrapes because it gives them that visual of having a deer's print in that scrape. So I put 1 or 2 hoof prints in there. But it's having that churn. So if you have a scrape and it's been dry for several months, you need to get out there. I don't just go out, especially if I find an organic scrape. So an organic scrape to me is one that a deer has already made.
Yeah.
A deer or multiple deer. If it's months old, I don't go to that dry scrape bed and maybe just kick off a few of the leaves and call it good and throw some scent on it. I don't do that. I'm going to churn up the dirt in that scrape because it's more natural. They can smell that turned up dirt. That turned up dirt scent will carry through the timber. And so then I add everything else to it, get that good concoction going of that scrape. And it's the same thing with putting in a mock scrape. I put in all of those aspects of it, making it as realistic as I possibly can to draw that deer in.
Well, if I can smell, as a human, smelling that churned up dirt, that fresh soil, I can imagine what it does for an animal that has such an outstanding sense of smell.
I don't know if you noticed what I was doing with it, Nick, when I was when I was churning up the ground underneath that rope scrape or underneath that licking branch that we had. Did you see how I didn't just dig down to bare earth and have a berm of dirt and leaves and
No, you were
crap
throwing
around.
it.
I was throwing it, right?
Like they would.
Yep, they dig their hooves into it, and then they kick that deer. Kind of, you know, again, I'm going to reference a dog. I like watching what Sig, our chocolate lab, does, right? So after he goes to the bathroom, they kick their legs, and
Yeah.
they're throwing dirt and grass and whatnot all over the place. If you watch deer working a scrape, they're pawing and they're throwing that soil and the dirt around, right? So I try to do the same thing, whether I'm using a branch, a stick, or my actual scrape tool. I try to throw some of that dirt so that it's not just piled in a berm all the way around that, because that's not natural.
I did notice that it wasn't like you did everything in like perfect, like all the way around. Like you would do this and throw it and you just kind of, it didn't look, what do I want to say, uniform.
Symmetric.
Didn't look symmetric. It didn't look uniform.
Would it be symmetrical?
Yeah, symmetrical, I would assume. Yeah, symmetrical.
Is it symmetrical?
I would say.
Okay.
Nothing was symmetrical about that. Even the scrape itself.
It was asymmetrical?
It was asymmetrical.
That's asymmetrical scrape.
Yes.
Literally.
But because you're not going to get a perfectly round scrape out there.
No.
And you're not going to get all the paw marks going in one direction. They're going to be doing
Hoof marks.
hoof marks. You even said pawing.
No.
You did. Oh, I'm never going to live that down.
That was a good day. We intended to put the ground blind up.
We did, but it is miserable hot.
It is. And it's getting late in the day.
Yep.
We had a slow start today. We had a lot of things planned for today.
Yeah.
Yep, we were going to put in a new clover patch today. Didn't happen. We were going to put up the blind today. That didn't happen. I thought we were going to cut a little more trail today. That did not happen. We were going to put up a new shop light today. That is not happening.
No.
But it's all right because we've had a good day.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, you get in those trees, it was, I couldn't imagine going back in there and cutting a trail.
Holy cow. So out in the open today, like sitting here right now, you can look on the tree line and you can see a little bit of air movement through the leaves.
Yeah.
When we got into the timber,
Oh my.
back here, there was no air movement at all.
It was suffocating.
Yeah.
It was like I was running, like I was stressing to get like good air.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
Yep.
Felt like getting into that little pool with that turtle.
It is gross. Absolutely gross.
It was, but fun. Still had a good time.
Yeah, it's been a good trip.
Yes. Oh my gosh, man.
Went by so fast.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Next time I'm gonna have to. Well. Yeah. I wanna. We're definitely coming back.
We
Definitely
didn't even shoot the 45-70.
Man, that's all right. Next time.
No suppressed weapons were fired.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, I've shot suppressed weapons before. They're awesome. A lot of fun.
But you haven't shot a suppressed 45-70.
I have not. I have seen a video of you shooting it, and the lever action chambering around is louder than the actual firing of the round.
How's your beer?
It's getting a little light. How's yours?
Might have to tap into this half rack.
By the way, such a cool cooler. I'm gonna buy one for our trip to Oklahoma, and I'm gonna get the larger one.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes whipping down the plains. Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Oh yes, we've had some good time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
So when you return, we're gonna put you in that ground blind.
Excuse me. Yes, I definitely want to get into that ground blind.
Make Ultra?
Yeah, sure.
May not fit in that koozie that well,
No, not at all.
but
It
that's
doesn't
all
have
right.
to. I don't think I'm going to give it time to get warm.
Well, is there anything else that we're going to talk about while we're on camera or mic'd up?
This really cool side by side.
It's a pretty slick rig, man.
It is. I love that you have the winch on the front. That came in handy today. I know you had talked prior about getting a quad. You were just deciding between a quad and a side by side. I think you made the absolute right decision to get the side by side.
Yeah, that's Delmarva Power Sports up in Salisbury, Maryland, had a huge impact on that decision-making process, and they were very subtle about it because I was hyper focused on the quad. I did not think that I needed a side-by-side on 25 acres. I was dead set on not owning a side-by-side, and it came down to they just kept feeding me information and letting me put all the parts and all the pieces of that puzzle together on my own, and shifted from a Polaris side quad to the CF Moto side by side. And there are some folks out there. I think there's probably two very distinct camps in the ATV or UTV world when it comes to CF Moto, because it's a newer company. And there's some people out there that think that they're garbage, and there's other people that absolutely love them. And I don't know if there's any middle ground, because I haven't heard the middle ground yet. I've heard one of two sides: either I love CF Moto, I love my machine, or I would never spend my money on that. The sales manager, Mike, at Delmarva, the way he communicated the CF Moto to me was, at the stage that I'm at in my life, and how I care for my equipment and what I want to use this machine for, hands down, this is the best bang for the buck that I could get. Has off the showroom floor, it has all of the options that I wanted. It has plenty of aftermarket options if I so choose to seek them out. But at the end of the day, what I paid for this 600 and how I can maneuver it through this timber and the brush out here, it's incredible.
Yeah, no, I think you 100% made the right choice. It's got plenty of power. The winch on the front is fantastic.
Yep.
You got a little dump bed on the back if you needed to dump something out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
hauls all my tools around.
your dog,
Yep.
I was sitting in his seat today. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it fits it's better all around than a quad.
Absolutely.
You're not hauling a little trailer behind it.
Can you imagine trying to get a trailer behind a quad out through this property?
No, absolutely not.
It'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be.
I would be on and off that machine, disconnecting the trailer, flipping it around, turning it around, maneuvering it around obstacles, hooking it back up, and then driving 50 feet and doing it again.
Yeah. No, I think this is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a good
cool
looking rig.
Yeah.
I really like the look of it.
Tara loves it.
I'd never heard of CF Moto. I mean, obviously everybody's heard of Polaris and Kawasaki and all that. I think my parents, theirs is a Polaris. And it's very, very similar to this. But yeah, I like them both.
For the price point on this CF Moto, I would have spent more on the Polaris ATV, the Polaris quad that I was looking at. I would have spent more on that quad than I paid for the CF Moto 600 side by side.
That doesn't shock me. I remember way back when I bought my quad, my Yamaha. Now it was a race quad, but it was $7-8 grand. And it was $8 grand. Yeah, for a quad. Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
That was
Early 2000s.
Probably 2006. No, it was a 2007 when I bought it. It was a 2007. And I paid $8 grand for it then.
Wow.
Yeah. It was awesome. It had no other function other than going really fast. up and down the dunes. But yeah, I can't, an ATV or UTV quad is, they've always been more expensive actually, because that's what they're meant to be used for work. But I would prefer a side-by-side over a quad any day.
You know what else you got to do?
What I get to do?
Well, so we went to the Island Creamery yesterday for ice cream.
Yes.
Island Creamery has 3 locations on the Eastern Shore. Holy cow, is it good ice cream. I'm not an ice cream fan, and I enjoy Island Creamery.
I am an ice cream fan.
You got a sneak peek of the first rendition of the film,
The A3G film.
the A3G film from Gas a couple of weeks ago at the Gas Bowstring Factory.
Congratulations, Dustin.
It's a cool film.
It is.
Got a little more work to do on it. We're going to have to do a little editing on it before we actually publish it. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a week or 2 out now.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I am so happy for that guy.
Pretty cool film.
Yes. He looked really excited about it.
Yeah.
Which was, I think it's fantastic. What you do with the A3G it's awesome. You've grown that from something fairly small to fairly substantial now. I would say it's substantial.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, these hunts that you're getting and these going to gas bowstrings and building and tuning a bow specifically for him. I mean, that's all really cool stuff.
Well, when you frame it as you have built this, I haven't done this alone.
You have not.
Nope. It's I could not have done this by myself. I have my board of directors is growing, and I have some very active, dedicated board members supporting my vision. And I have some incredible companies in the outdoor industry that are not only backing and supporting the vision, but people like Eric Griggs of Gas Bowstrings that they want to contribute to the base of it and actually make it a journey that's not just, hey, here's a piece of equipment that you want. It's not only can I provide you that custom bowstring for your bow, but I want to be part of that. I want to be one of your cornerstones and building this individual's lifetime in archery. That's what's really cool about it.
Yeah, all of it. I mean, you along with, I mean, you're constantly networking. I mean, so a lot of it starts with you, and it's been a passion. It's your baby. You've put so much time and effort into it, and I think it's fantastic, and I'm proud of you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Well, the film's coming out soon. Again, I think it's going to be probably 1 or 2 weeks out at this point. We were hoping to have it out right around the 4th of July, but I think in order to get this right, I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before it actually gets published out on YouTube and the social medias. But it's a really cool film, and you really get to see Dustin's face, and his smile is so contagious.
Well,
It's
he looks
just
excited.
It's so cool, man.
I think I'm going to cut one of my toes off so that I can.
Can I have it?
No, you're already getting something else.
Well, if you're going to cut a toe off, then I think I might throw in a bid on that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I might bid on that toe.
You going to make a necklace out of it?
No.
Is it going in the sea chest?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I could put a toe in my sea chest.
You going to put it in a little jar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
I want to find a really old classic, like a pint jar.
That would be cool.
Like the old ball, the cobalt blue ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put my toe in that?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll even can it.
Ew.
Why not?
Why would you want to can it?
What if I get hungry one day? If I can it, you know how tender that would be?
It would probably be kind of gross.
I don't know.
I don't think you could eat raw toe.
It wouldn't be raw. It would be canned. You know how tender that would be? It's your pinky toe.
Well, no, I need my pinky toe
It'd
for
be
stabilization.
it would be one of the little piggies.
It would probably be the second to the piggy.
Corned piggy.
Gross. Man, no, I don't know. I don't think I'll give you my toe. You already won a bet.
I guarantee you that if you cut off your toe, you will not be selected to be your A3G recipient.
I wouldn't expect to be.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It wouldn't be fair.
No.
No, I think it's fantastic. Gosh. Everything. Man, I've just been having a great time out here. So is Kelly. She's had a wonderful time. Other than I'm probably going to leave with CTE from hitting my head on the ceiling.
That's a personal problem.
That's what happens when you're a little bit taller.
Will, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm going to do toast. You know what my toast is going to be?
Do
This is
it.
one of my favorite toasts. So, everybody, raise your glass, coffee cup, whatever it is.
Yes.
There's good ships, and there's wood ships, and there's ships that sail the sea. But friendships are the best ships, and may they always be.
Cheers.
Cheers, Nick. And with that, my friend, be limitless.
Absolutely.